Hi everyone, as part of the Beginners Canva Masterclass, there is a step-by-step supporting guide on how to create your first piece of artwork, and it looks at lots of the tools. And in this video I'm going to take you through that guide bit by bit and explore Canva with you so that you can pause and follow along. First of all, I'm going to head to Canva. I'll just make that full screen. So when you log into Canva, this video works for those of you who've got the pro version of Canva as well as the free version. So we'll be making sure that the tools that we use work for those without a subscription. So when you log in to Canva, you will see this interface. It might look slightly different depending on what computer you use, or if you're on an iPad, for example, or even a mobile. It is quite tricky to design things on mobile that aren't relatively simple. So always using as big a screen as possible is better. So on the home tab here, we have all of these options along the top if you're wanting to create social media posts, documents. There's a video player, presentation slide decks. There's an interactive whiteboard feature. There's loads of creative things. We're going to look at setting up a document and creating a post, and we can also save that as a brand template for those who do have the pro version, which is just a little element that we'll look at the end. So we're going to select an Instagram square post, which is to set up a new design. So you can either click here on the Instagram post, or you can go create, and we can go down to social media and also select Instagram post, which is what used to be square. It is now 4x5. So we'll select the Instagram post, and what it will do is in a new tab it will open up this blank document, this blank canvas, where we are going to start designing. What we're going to use, which is available as part of the Canva Masterclass guide, but if not, you can use your own logo or anything that you want to kind of play around with it. Go to the upload tab is on the left hand. So for the purposes of this, we're going to stick to what's in the guide, which is Jake's Blooming Marvellous Flowers, which is a business that we've created for this. And I'm just going to upload that into Canva, and we are just going to click on it, and that will pop that onto our artboard. So if you've got this logo, please use it. If not, you can use your own logo and follow along. So we've got this logo. What it does do is put it in the center of the canvas of the artboard. Sometimes it might put it off center, but you can always drag it, click and drag, single click and drag, and you can see those guides there that are snapping it bang onto the center. So we're going to keep this central for now. And the first thing we're going to do is add a photo from the Canva library. So using free pictures that are freely available in Canva, we're going to head to elements, and you can see all the different things that you can get. So there's shapes, graphics, there's an AI image generator, so if you want to describe an image, the AI features can create them. There's stickers, and there's photos and frames and videos and charts, and you can the list goes on. But we're going to go to photos, or up here actually you can just type in flower background and hit search, and what will come up is lots of flower backgrounds, and I'm going to click on the photos, and scroll through. Anything that has a crown requires the Pro version. Anything that doesn't, you can use on the free version. So I'm quite liking the look of this really bright floral image. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to pop it onto our Canva artboard. And as we can see, it goes straight on top of the original logo that we've added in. And the reason it does that is because it works in layers. So as you add things, it builds it up in layers on top of each other, and we can change that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this lovely floral image the free image that we've taken from the Canva Elements toolkit in the panel on the left. We want to not only move that to the back, so you can move your layers backwards by right clicking. So I'll come off that, I'll just do that again. So you right click, it's a right click on your mouse, and you can go to layer and send to back. But actually we want to set the image as the background, which locks it fully to the background and actually fills the background for us. So that automatically fills that canvas, so it looks much better. So that's now not only set that to the back, it's locked it to the back as well. So it's there, and anything that we now add in will always go on top of that. So that can be really, really helpful. So we've added our logo, and we've used the Elements tool to search for a floral background, and we've added that in and then moved it to the back. The next thing that we want to do is add in a bit of a shape, and we're going to look at colours and shapes as well. So if we go into the Design tab at the top, back into the Elements tab, and we need to get rid of our flower background, and navigate to shapes. So there's lots of different shapes. You can click see all. It then opens up a bigger menu of shapes. We're going to just take a simple square shape, and we're going to click that square, and it has added it onto our canvas. Now it might appear in a range of different colours when you add it to your canvas. It doesn't really matter. We're going to change it anyway. So this has added it in as an orange. I want to change this. So in order to change the colour or elements within a design, there's a menu bar that pops up along the top, and it might look a little different for different people, but everything should be in there. And if you can't see anything in this top bar, you can click the three dots to see more. Sometimes it depends on, as I say, if you're on an iPad versus a laptop versus a phone, what you can see will change. But we want to change the colour. And one of the first elements along this editing toolbar is the colour. So if we click onto that, you can choose a colour from the colour wheel. So you can have a scroll and see exactly what colours that you want to use. But we want to make this square on brand with the Jake's Blooming Marvellous Flowers logo, and we've got quite a few brand kits in here, so you won't see all of them. Oops, didn't mean to click on that. If what you should see is the system has already pulled the 4 colours from the Jake's logo and from the photo in the panel on the left. So you may need to scroll down, but it'll be under photo colours. So what it's done is it's taken that logo and taken that those floral images and pulled the colours out for us automatically. So I'm going to select this sort of dark colour that we've got from the logo. And the square's a little bit small. What I'm actually wanting to do is fill more of the space. So in order to change the size of something, we click on it, and you can select any of the corners and just drag and pull up, down, left, right. So we're going to just do that, and I'm going to pop that centrally, and it's now covering again our logo. So we need to right click as before and select layer and send to back. And as we've set the flowers as the locked background, it won't go beyond that. So we've now got this kind of frame around the edge with our dark green colour in the middle. But actually it's a shame that we're covering up so many of the flowers. So one of the things that you might want to look at is the opacity of this, which is this checker grid here in the top menu. So if you click onto that, you can then adjust the transparency so that you can start to see some more of the flowers underneath. So I'm going to set this to about 80 because I'd quite like us to be able to add text that's legible, and so hence why we're adding a little bit of a block, but I still want to be able to see that image underneath. So that is along the top bar, and we have the kind of checker grid there, and you can make that whatever you like. I'd advise keeping it a little bit quite dark so that we can add some nice typography over the top. So I'm going to click off that, and we've got our design so far with our 3 layers, our shape and our transparency, which we've looked at. Now we're going to add some text. So we've been in the elements panel on the left hand side. There is a text panel, and I'm going to add a heading, and I'm going to just add the copy, add warmth to your winter, which is when we were looking at this original Canva course was in winter. So add warmth to your winter, and as you can see, that's added that to the top, and it's quite small. So what we want to look at now is changing the size and maybe the font style. So again, all of the controls for this pop up along the top. So this time we do have the colour as well, but it's prioritised the fonts and the font size. So I'm going to make this much bigger. I'm going to take it up to maybe 60. And I actually want to change the fonts. If you click on the fonts here, it'll bring up lots and lots of options that you can choose and search for. So I'm just going to pick a bold font. So I'm going to go for Din Black here, and add warmth to your winter. It might be that you want to go for something fancy. I actually think in the guide we've used Deja Vu serif, which is a bit of a fancy one, and you can make it bolder here along the top by clicking bold. So we'll go with that version. You can pick any font you want, or you can follow along. I think we're going to leave it in sentence case. You can make it capitalised. But the other thing that we might want to do is change the colour of the font. So if I click on the colour, again, we have the colours that have been pulled from the logo. So I'm going to select the lighter colour, which disappears over the top. So this is looking a bit messy. So what we're going to do is move Jake's logo down, and we're going to make it smaller by dragging and dropping the corners, because we don't need the brand logo to be so big. So now we can see this text a bit more, but it's spilling over the edge of the box. So I'm just going to again drag that side in, and we can have add warmth to your winter there. And I actually maybe still want to go a little bit bigger to fill this space. So we're adding that in. I'm going to pop that up at the top of the artboard, and we've pulled the same colours from the logo, which is quite nice. And we also want to add a subheading to this. So again, the text panel should still be open, but if it's not, it's down the left hand side on text, and we're going to add a subheading. And again, we're going to make that a little bit bigger. using the bar at the top. And we're going to have freshly picked flowers every day. So we've got a bit of a kind of subheading to the design here. And again, colour wise, we maybe want to use something from the logo or the background, but we're going to I'll go with this sort of salmon pink colour from the logo as well. And I may actually want to move these down just a little bit so they're a little bit more central. And we can even make that logo a little bit bigger now just to fill that space a bit better. So that's how you can add in text and change the fonts. You might want to use italic or underline text. All of that is controlled at the top. We've got this centrally aligned, but you could look at left aligning things, justifying, or right aligning. But I think centered works nicer for the design that we've got going here. The other thing that you can do is add and manipulate graphics, which is quite nice. So we're going to go back to the elements panel on the left hand side, and it's still in shape, so when we put the square shape, so you might need to go back, but we're going to go into graphics, and there's loads and loads of different graphics and stickers and shapes, but we're just going to search, and you can search for absolutely anything. A bunch of flowers to keep in theme with what we're doing. So there's lots and lots of different bouquets of flowers. I'm going to select this first one, which is free here, and add that on. And now weirdly it's gone behind the text. So as we've done before, if we want it to come to the front, we just need to right click, layer, and bring to front. And what we're going to do next is change the colours on this, because again it's just defaulted to sort of the orange and yellow and green as it was in the image, but you can change the colours on this to be absolutely anything you want. So we just repeat the step that we've already previously done. So we can click onto the graphic and we can see the colours along the top here, and we might want to change it to some of the colours from the photo. So it's got the 5 colours that it had. We might want to change the greens to the reds and the oranges to the yellows from the flowers, and we've kind of got the pinks and the blacks. I think the red might be better off being a bit of a lighter colour, and then we can change that pink to the dark red. So as you can see, you can really manipulate the colours and increase and decrease the size. So we're going to sit that bunch of flowers up at the top, and I might just need to move my text down, literally drag and drop a little bit there. So we've got this kind of graphic shape at the top, and then which pulls from the colours in the background, and then we've got our brand logo that sits at the bottom. You could even sit that in the bottom right corner, but you might want to keep it centred. And again, I'm going to make that a little bit smaller because I think it looks a bit nicer. So in sort of 10-15 minutes, you've created a graphic that's used lots of the different elements within Canva. When you're looking at colours, the other thing that you can do is select from the colour wheel. Also, if you've got a colour on something else that you might like, this blue from the top, you can select it. Don't think it works as well, so I'm going to go back to the sort of light colour from the brand, but you can select absolutely any colour. You could select the yellow from here. So again, you go to the colour wheel and the eyedropper tool that looks like a pipette. You click on that and we can say I want that yellow, and then that changes that to the yellow that pulls from the background. So there's lots that you can do. If you like this design and you wanted to change it, so we're looking at a winter season here, and you might just want to change it for spring, summer and autumn, you can publish it as a brand template if you have the Canva Pro version. If you don't and you want to just export it, you can click the share button and the download button, and always a PNG, as it suggests, is good if you're going to post it onto Instagram or Facebook or whatever social media channels you use. Make the size maximum, and you can literally hit the download button, and that will then save it to wherever you want it to save on either your phone or your tablet or your laptop. If you do publish it as a brand template, I'm just going to select the Electrify team. You can select your own Canva teams if you've got different ones. If it's just your own Canva, it will save, and you can publish and close it, and it will automatically go into your brand template so that you can use it time and time again and maybe change the copy. So we want to use this brand template again, but we want to just go in and change the message to whatever you might want that to be, and then you can reshare it and save it. All of your designs will automatically go back to the home page. They'll automatically save in the recent designs section on the home page. So if you go to 3 dots and just click the Canva icon, that will take us to the home page, and it will either be there in recent design. Well, it will be there in recent designs, and if you want to, you can move it to a folder, or you can create a new folder that might be like winter social media posts, whatever it might be. You can save it and add it into there. So hopefully that step-by-step guide has been useful and simple enough to follow along, and you are well on your way to creating your first design in Canva and have understood some of the elements and the tips and tricks that you can use to get a design looking neat and tidy. And I really hope this video has been helpful. Thank you very much.